Yo, what's going on, guys? Chris Bonner here, Overtime Athletes. So, quick video I wanted to make as a follow-up to the combine. This is more regarding that bench press test, the 225 bench press. What I want to do is go over 3 best methods from a programming standpoint. Now, this isn't as far as technique on the actual test, but if I'm working with a combine athlete and he's approaching to be able to do that test and we're like 2 months out, there's a couple things that you could do to get the most bang for your buck, and I want to share the best 3 with you. Typically from a programming standpoint, I'm going to do more of an undulating, where one day I'm going to work more of a heavy bench press depending on the athlete. If that athlete has like a 400-pound bench press, I'm not necessarily going to focus more on trying to elevate that. But if the athlete is around like that 200 to 300 rep range, or 1 rep max range, I'm going to try to increase that. Heavier bench is going to add to more repetitions. The other portion of that is the second day, where we're going to train more of a repetitive method, train more repetitions. And that's what I'm really focusing on as far as the methods within these 3. So the first one that I'm going to do, which was my all-time favorite, is going to be the actual bench test, right? So let's say Julian's here, he's going to kind of demonstrate, but let's say I'm doing a series of repetitions. I'll have 225 on the board. What's your most at 225?
I think the most I've done is probably
16, 17. So if I wanted to say, hey, he came in, you played wide receiver, right? So if he played wide receiver, I'd say, hey, here's the goal we're trying to shoot for that individual athlete and for his position. So let's say it's 20 repetitions, right? We want to do 20 repetitions. I would get the stopwatch out, I have him warm up, I go 225 on the bar. Then from there, what I'm going to have him do is do as many reps as he can. And then what I want to do is basically build up to 20 repetitions in the least amount of time. So that however many sets it takes, whatever it takes, if it takes, you bang out 10, rack it, bang out 2, rack it, all the way up to 20. And then as soon as he hits 20, I stop the watch, right? And from here, each week I want to be able to decrease that time and decrease the amount of sets it takes to hit that number 20. So that's the first one. Each week we're going to progress. Second one, simple board press. So what I like to do after strength, I want to really fatigue on working that lockout position in the bench press, right? Most guys, if you're ever watching the test, most of them start to fatigue in that lockout. So to be able to do that, we want to actually train that range of motion. There's multiple boards you could do this with, but essentially all I want you to do is come down, bang that bar. Remember, it's fast down, fast up, good, bang, bang. And basically what I do, good, you can go ahead and rack just to show them. So what I'm looking for here, I can play with 2 boards, I can play with 3 boards and increase or decrease that range of motion. But really what I'm looking for is 2 to 3 sets. And what I tell the athlete is save 2 in the tank for the first 2, right? So if they could do 10 reps, they could do 12. Actually, I want them to cut it at 10. If they could do 14, I want them to cut it at 12. And really what we want to be able to do by that last set is go all out. And so we're just trying to raise that threshold, build that endurance and that actual motion. Last and final method is going to be accommodating resistance. So I actually use bands. And again, this is working along the same exact thing that we just did as far as training that top portion of the range of motion, right? As the athlete pushes the bar across, pushes it up, the bands obviously are going to accommodate the resistance, right? So it's actually getting heavier as he goes up, training that lockout. So what I'll do on something like this is I'll go a 225 or just less than 225, maybe a 200, depending on the size of the bands that we're working here. And I'll have him work just straight sets, trying to build up to that amount of reps that you actually have. So just go ahead and do that just so they can see what it looks like. Good, lock out the top all the way. Good, 2 more, 1, 2, perfect, that's it. It gets harder on the lockout, and what I'm really trying to do is fatigue that athlete so he can continue to raise that threshold. That's it for those 3 methods. Appreciate you guys. My man's got a YouTube channel you want to shout?
Just got a little YouTube channel started, Hooks Cooks. Go check it out.
Yep.
I mean, it's me cooking up, chefing up in the kitchen.
There you go. That's what's up. I appreciate it, man. I'll holler at you guys next time.